Greetings and salutations to all you lovely listeners out there, and to another podcast episode. This is episode I can't count anymore. I think I lost the amount of episodes that I've been meaning to plan on, but the idea is to keep going as many as I want to. So this is episode, yeah, that one. I have had quite a week, and it was probably one of the hardest weeks I've ever had at work, but I won't get into that. And I also want to talk about the convention that happened recently. So hopefully you all are listening ears, and though your ears may be burning currently because of all of the news that's been going on, hopefully that this will give you a little bit of ear candy to help relax and to help kind of just bring yourself back to a good place of stability. And I hope that just my rambling proves to be somewhat helpful. So, first of which is I want to talk about I have been visited by a very lovely individual who is in fact here now. So say hi, Abby.
Hello.
Yes, Abby's here, just hanging out. We had a great time yesterday and today, taking her to where did we go yesterday? We went to
the wing warehouse.
The wing warehouse, which was very good, in fact.
Oh, yes.
And
the wings were delicious.
Yes, and you had how many of the, what were they, the honey barbecue or something like that?
Yeah, they were 10-piece honey barbecue boneless.
Yeah? What'd you think?
They were good.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just the right amount of sauce. And some extra.
Yes. It was actually one of those things where I was going to take her to a completely different place, but then you had mentioned that you were like a huge wing person.
You mentioned wings, and I was like, ooh. And then we went by the wing place, and you saw that little glint in my eye.
I did.
Like, I gotta take her there.
Yes, it was a good decision, because originally we were going to go to where we went tonight, but that just turned out.
It was good tonight, too. I didn't eat everything, but it was good.
Yes.
I have my leftovers for later.
Yes. So.
The drinks last night were good, too.
Oh, yeah.
The Sprite with the blueberry was really good.
Yeah. That was something. It just looked like water to me.
It did. It didn't really taste the Sprite. You just tasted that overwhelming blueberry taste.
Yeah, I like blueberry, but it's really hard to capture in a drink form, I have to say. So, but they did it right.
They did.
I don't know what they did differently.
You got me.
So I, of course, being the gremlin I am, I ordered an IPA because I felt like it, and a lot of people don't like IPAs, but that was very good. And I had a tall one too, so that was quite good. And what was the movie we watched yesterday?
Werewolf at Night.
Werewolf at Night.
On Disney Plus.
Yes.
If anybody wants to know, it is a black and white movie, and it is amazing. Well, black and white and color, but I tend to go towards the black and white because it gives you that older movie kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm. So it was only 55 minutes or something?
56 minutes.
Yeah.
So not even an hour, so it's a good watch.
If you need something kind of, I don't want to say laid back, but something short but also action-packed and plot forward, crazy, then definitely.
With just a little bit of gore.
Yes.
Because we did see some things that were not appropriate for small kids.
Yes.
So definitely 14 and older could watch it, possibly, depending on how the parents feel.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good watch. I thoroughly watch that every Halloween.
Yeah, it only comes out every Halloween or so, something like that, on streaming, and limited time. But I have to say, I think the black and white kind of helped with the gore aspect a little bit.
It does, because it makes it more intense.
Yeah, you can't really tell, but you know what's going on.
You know what it is, but you can't tell because of the color not being there. So you're like, oh.
That one antagonist, though, I did not like her at all.
Oh, no. She was horrible. I'm so glad what happened to her, even though that's horrible to say. She is not the best. I would have to say the two main characters are my two favorites.
Yes.
And Ted.
And Ted.
And Ted.
Can't forget Ted.
Ted was a sweet boy.
Yes.
Even though he can't talk.
No.
Sweet boy.
But you kind of understand what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. He, with his hand gestures and everything. He uses body language, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
His grunts and his body language kind of tell you what he wants and how he shows if he's upset or not.
Mm-hmm. And just like, if I had to compare him to another kind of being in a different medium, if any of you remember Dog from Half-Life 2, he's very dog-like. You know, Dog was the goodest boy in Half-Life 2, and Ted is very much that type of character.
Good boy.
Oh, good boy indeed.
Even though he's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's what, like, I think he's probably like 8 feet at least in the movie.
Yeah.
He was a lot taller than the people, so I'd say about 7-8 feet.
He was large. Yeah, he and his personality, very magnetic. Like, we all need someone like Ted in our lives.
We need a Ted.
We need a Ted, yes.
Everybody needs a Ted.
Everyone needs a Ted.
And everybody needs a Jack.
That's true. So, and other than that, we ended up watching, because you had never seen a full-on episode. We watched a few episodes of Bluey.
Yes, I've heard a lot about it, and I've played the video game on Xbox, which is Bluey the video game. Mm-hmm. And it does have some of the characters, but it has some references, like you can do Keepy Uppy, there's the floor is lava, there's the xylophone,
mm-hmm.
and there's that little robotic thing that runs around and screams that the parents absolutely hate.
Chattermax?
Yes, Chattermax is in the game, and it's so much fun because, like, the little games on top of the game itself is cool, and then you get to meet Muffin,
mm-hmm.
Muffin's dad, and it's a lot of fun, but actually watching the show for the first time, just watching bits and pieces, I genuinely like it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, though, I would have to say Bingo and the dad the best.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo and Bandit. I like Bluey and I like the mom, but it's just, Bingo has that personality that you love to see in a child. Like, I want my kid to be like Bingo. Like, I loved it so much, and just the voice and everything. She's just so sweet, and then, like, I just like the family aspect of how engaging the mom and dad are with their kid.
Yes, peak parenting right there.
Definitely. Yeah. That's what I want one day, is like that, because that is just so sweet.
Mm-hmm. And how they commit to every game and bit that the kids do, and yeah, that's like, we can learn a lot from Bluey when it comes to parenting and being a kid as well.
Yeah, I definitely thoroughly enjoyed because one of the episodes was the Keepy Uppy episode.
Mm-hmm.
And literally when they were like, we need this to be harder, and Dad's like, I got you. And he just kept picking them up and just doing everything. And I was like, that's a very... And then even the neighbors got in on it. And I'm like, that's just so engaging. I love it.
Yep, Lucky's
like,
dad.
You don't see anything like that in the real world really anymore.
No.
So it's like a fresh air kind of thing.
Yeah, it really is that. And... like, I love Bandit's personality when it comes to just being a dad, you know, how important it is. And I should, reminds me, after this, I should show you the All Bingo episode.
Oh, definitely.
They did that.
Definitely. We should definitely. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I'll just give you a little taste. There's a point in the episode where Chili's trying to fix the toilet or the sink, one of the two. And then she hears, like, a door slam and is like, Bingo, are you all right, honey? And then Bingo goes, I'm hiding. And then Chili's like, who's coming to find you? And then it like stops, like a pause, and you hear, aww. She can't. She's like, oh.
I love him. That's adorable. I have to say Bingo's probably one of my favorites. And then just what I saw from like the video game that I played on Xbox for it, I kind of like how Muffin is. Mm-hmm. Muffin just has that personality that I just love, because she's spicy and not spicy at the same time.
Yes.
So she's kind of like a little breath of fresh air, because like you get that little bit of spice from her, and then she's like chill, and then she's spicy again.
Mm-hmm. We've all had kids that we've known like that growing up, and maybe some of us were that kid, you know. Like tantrums one minute.
A muffin.
Were you really?
I was a muffin.
Aww.
I was the spicy, like, it's my way or the highway kind of kid.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was also the shy kid. So, like, a mix of Bingo and Muffin.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can. This is unacceptable.
Yeah. She said that in the game, too, and I loved it.
Yep.
She said it to her dad, and I was like, "That's hilarious."
That's me.
Because they were playing like it was like dress up or something
Mm-hmm.
in the game, and she got mad about something, and she just screamed that at him, and I'm like, "That's hilarious."
I actually did do a stream not too long ago of the Bluey game, and that was fun. It was fun to play, but it is definitely geared towards children. The game itself, and it's also you can tell it's like a mobile game, by the way that it
Yeah.
controls. It's very mobile based, and it was fun. It was like an hour and a half stream, which I usually stream like 3-4 hours, but that was a nice little like break from the usual horror games and Dark Souls and other things.
Yeah,
So.
because I played it on the Xbox, and it's not a long game at all.
Hmm.
But you can go back and play more stuff if you want to like 100% the game and find everything,
Mm-hmm.
which I like to do.
Yeah.
So I still gotta go back and finish 100% of the game, but
Mm-hmm.
I can always restart if I want to go through the story again,
True.
which is fun because the story is based about around Chili's dad
Mm-hmm.
and or no wait, Chili's dad is in it, but basically it's about Bandit and I believe it's some of Chili's siblings, brothers or cousins or whatever, and they basically have a treasure map where they buried their time capsule.
That's right.
And Bluey and Bingo want to go find it in
Yeah.
the game.
Mm.
So you're traveling to all these areas, meeting a lot of the characters, trying to find the other parts of the maps to find the treasure.
Yep.
And it is so much fun.
It is. Good treasure hunting element to the game, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, when they found it, it was like, oh, look at this, So.
Yeah, like the dad and the other two were like so happy about finding it, and the girls were just like, oh, it's just that. And
Yeah.
it's like, I love that. Like, they gave the dads, like, their dads are like all so happy and turn into like basically kids again.
Mm-hmm.
And the two, Blue and Bingo are like, this is what we came here for?
Yeah. Sentimental.
And then the mom's like, "What, didn't you guys have fun?" And then the girls are fine again. They're like, "Yeah, we had a great time. It was fun."
Mm-hmm.
So it's very cute in the game.
Yeah. It's a nice little life lesson of sentimentality and like the whole time capsule thing, which reminds me, I actually have a time capsule of my own that I put at my parents' house back when I was in middle school or high school. So it's been almost 10 years, so I think I'm going to go and pick that up at some point. So we'll see what's that.
See, I've never done a time capsule. Like, a lot of people I went to high school with, they buried one and then they got the coordinates tattooed on their arms
Oh, interesting.
to go back one day,
Yeah.
which I think is cool. But I've never actually done one or dug one up.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, now that I'm like where I am now, I'm like, man, there was so much cool stuff I had in my childhood that I could have buried and still had. But,
Mm-hmm.
oh well.
Hey, you can still do it. You can still find those things and items and memories that you have from your childhood, and you can still make it happen. I mean, you're never too old for a time capsule.
True.
So, with that being said, speaking of burying things and woods and other things, I want to talk about WPAFA, which happened this past weekend. It was a lot of fun. For those of you who aren't sure what that means, it is Western Pennsylvania Furry Weekend, which is held at North Park right outside of Pittsburgh. And we went. I went with a few friends. We spent the entire weekend. It like I said, it happens at a park, so it's not your traditional furry con. There's a huge lodge up on a hill, North Park, and basically anywhere from 400 to 500 furries get together, and we have bonfires. They have like an open bar. They have a raffle, which is kind of cool, instead of like your typical like dealer's den, if you will. So you put tickets in and you can get raffle prizes. Pretty cool. I unfortunately could not do the raffle this year for various reasons, but they give away stuff like on Saturday night. It's like the big charity auction event, which is where they will take all the raffle tickets and they give away prizes. So you can put in your raffle tickets for whatever you like. Sometimes they have like classic game consoles. Sometimes they have like furry shirts and merch. They have maybe like a registration, like a free registration for next convention, like next WPAFA. So someone that I know got that, and someone else that I know got a Nintendo Switch, which was really cool. And they like give away plushies and stuff, and it's really doofy and adorable. Basically, the the person who does the raffle is dressed as like an opera singer, like a Victorian, not opera singer really, but like they look like a Victorian opera singer. They got like tights and they got like a really tall like beehive haircut, like purple wig, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But and then like when they come in, everybody's sitting on the hill watching the stage, and they the presenter comes in on a golf cart, like standing on the back of a golf cart, like waving a torch, and then the chairman Manic is like running, chasing the golf cart to the stage in fursuit. So it is, yeah, it's just a good time. Um, we were just sitting back having some drinks, smoking some cigars while the raffle was going on, so that was fun. And I saw a lot of people that I knew. Some new ones, some new friends were made. I saw a lot of old friends. And as a matter of fact, someone that I met at the convention, if I could show it, I would, but gave me a fan art, which was really, really sweet. So shout out to Gabu Matt, or Garn Matt, I think is their name. They wrote it at the like bottom corner, so I think it's Garn actually.
Let me see, maybe I can read it.
I think it's Gabu actually. It's hard to read.
I think it is Gabu Matt.
Gabu Matt. Okay.
Yep.
So shout out to Gabu Matt. Thank you for the fan art. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. It is a picture, and to those of you who watch the ASMRs, it is a picture of me as a furry doctor, and I'm shining a light in in the viewer's face. So that is the most recent doctor video that I made. So thank you, Gabu, for the lovely fan art. It means so much to me. Also want to shout out somebody else who did give me, or they presented a gift art on YouTube not too long ago. They just like tagged me in a post, and it is this.
That's adorable.
Right?
That is so cute.
I love it. So shout out to Sunny T or Becky Shans or Sayans, I believe is how you say their name, for the lovely gift art on YouTube. So thank you so much for presenting that, and it was a complete surprise over this week. Definitely a huge highlight over this week. So thank you again thank you both for your lovely contributions and art. It means a lot that you support what I do, and it just, yeah, like every time I get like a gift or an art or something from somebody, it really means the world to me. So I want you to know I really do appreciate you taking the time to do that. It's a small thing, but it means so much. Other than that, I fursuited a lot during the con. Like I was, my goodness, like hours and hours per day. It was weird because like one day was really hot and the next day was really cold, and we're getting in that transition of fall, and it's just like it was so nice to just be able to walk around like an actual animal, like like in the woods in your element. So being being a bunch of fluffies out in the woods was nice. It was a lot of fun, and yeah. Other than that, I got to ride in a Honda CRZ, so shout out to my friend Monaco for making me into the true canine of being able to sit in the front seat and stick my head out the window and drive. It was fantastic. And because how it works is WPAFW runs on a shuttle system, so every night at midnight, the shuttles take everybody back to the nearby hotels, and we sleep, come back the next day, and repeat. So I was trying to get on the shuttle to go to the convention space, and Monaco comes walking out and was like, "Hey, you want to just ride in the car?" I was like, "Yeah." So I get my fluffy butt in there. Yeah, it's that a CRZ is kind of low to the ground, and it's also like super compact. So getting in that car and out of that car was interesting in fursuit. My ears were touching the ceiling, like it was kind of uncomfortable, but it worked. And driving by all of the joggers, the bikers, different people in cars, just like waving, and people just like looking like, what the heck what was that? Especially some of the joggers, because like they're in their jog, they're running, and then you like stick your head out the window and like wave your fluffy paw. And then I saw one lady, she was jogging and she was going the same direction we were, And I did that. I stuck my head out the window, waved, and I saw her take her AirPod out and just like look, like just follow. And I was like, I made that lady's day or I made it worse. I don't know. I couldn't tell. She looked so perplexed. It was amazing. And some of the bikers, rest their souls, not really. Bless their souls is what I meant to say. They're fine. Uh, they were just like crossing the street and they were watching like, huh? So I was like, please don't crash. Please don't crash. They're fine. They didn't crash, but like that was what I was a little worried about was like they would get distracted and then hit something, but they didn't. They're good. So yeah, that was Wapafa. I gave Abby a little picture of me as Furry Potter.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I'm in my Gryffindor robe and I have my wand and my glasses. And um, shout out to my friend Chase for taking that picture and taking a lot of other pictures. It was great to see him and have him be there and just be one of our rock star photographers throughout the entire weekend. So thank you, Chase. Love you. Glad to know you. And thank you for all the pictures as well. Um, so yeah, I got to be Furry Potter. I didn't get to be a maid this time. I was kind of sad, but the reason for that was because the convention at the end was met with a giant thunderstorm. Oof. Now, I've been to this con, this is my third time going, and we've had like windstorms and we've had a little bit of rain over the past couple of years, but this time was like, yeah, we need to evacuate. Like, it was bad. Like, I remember seeing the dark clouds roll in, and I was like, oh, okay, time to go. So I go to the fursuit tent, and I'm packing up all my stuff, and I run to the shuttle. It's like 6 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and the line to get on the shuttle was back to the door. There were so many people trying to get out because we all knew this was the time we need to go. Like, thankfully I did because I got back to my car at the bottom lot and me and my friend Nico were just like throwing stuff in our car like as fast as possible because we felt raindrops and we're like, all right, we need to go now. Let's go. And as soon as we peeled out, it like downpoured, like torrential downpour. My friend Vulo got a video of a lightning strike that hit about a mile from the con.
Ooh.
And it was like, boom, just like huge lightning bolt struck. And everybody was fine. There were no fires as far as I know. But man, like that was like minutes after I had left and just lightning strike and thunder and downpour. And I proceeded to drive home about 2.5 hours in the rain, barely seeing 2 inches in front of me. That's, yeah, we were like, so for those of you who work on the freedom system of measurements, the highway going home was 70 miles per hour. We were going about 35 on the highway. That's how bad it was. And I could feel my car sliding. It wasn't good. So you're just like chilling on the highway going 35, wipers at full blast, you pause your music because you want to be able to hear things, and it took about 25 minutes to get out of that storm until I finally got home. So thankfully everybody was okay. There were no wrecks, no fatalities of any sort, thankfully. But yeah, just glad that I got out when I did. And one of the sad parts actually of getting home was I hadn't realized, but my little con bag that I had of all my stuff, like stickers and things I got from the convention, like, they give out little merch things, was in a paper bag, which was a boo-boo on my part. And it was sitting on the floorboards of my car. Now, my car is fine, but it does have a tendency to get a little wet on the interior from, like, really heavy rain. And that bag was sitting on the passenger side floorboards. And basically, when I was grabbing all my stuff coming into the house and bringing everything in, the bottom caved in. It was like the entire bottom of the bag just like split, and all my stuff goes on the ground. I was like, oh man, that's what I get for not using plastic. But hey, you got to have some disaster with every con, I guess. Thankfully, everything survived. Some of my stickers got wet, and some, like one of my chargers, I think, stopped working. But hey, it all worked out in the end. You just dry everything up, and you continue on with life. I got home, I passed out in bed, woke up the next morning, and went to work. Because that's smart. It's really smart. Um, so that was Wapafa. It was a great time. And I want to shout out to all the staff and all of the lovely individuals who took time to make this con happen. Like, it made it a beautiful time. So, I can't thank you all enough. Thank you for making it so good. All right, I'm back. I had to take a little bit of a break from the previous clip that you heard. Basically, our friend Abby has departed back to her stomping grounds home. So it was very lovely to have her, and I'm glad that we had a lovely weekend to hang out, and we got to go and do a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, shout out to Abby for accompanying me on this podcast. So hope you all check out her socials. I'll put a link down in the description. You can follow her TikTok and other things. So yeah, I always love when I have some guests on the podcast. It's always a nice little treat. And I'm glad that she was so cool to join me for that first half. But I want to talk about a couple things other than Wapafa and what we did over this weekend, watching Bluey and stuff. But I do want to mention a couple things. This past week was something because my work had inventory, and just to put it in perspective, we had Wapafa last weekend, and then immediately following that was inventory. And to those of you who work in retail, warehouse, and other type places, you understand how this goes. So going from a furry convention to work inventory is not ideal because you don't have a whole lot of time to prep. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, probably one of the more trying weeks of the year, and this is also the 1 week out of the year that you're not allowed to take any time off. So, oh boy. Without getting too deep into it, because there's a lot that happened. Let's just say everybody was on everybody's nerves, and tangents were very tense. And I have to say, we grit through it somehow, like deep, and like just it was like a war almost, of just like people, going after not like going after each other, but just like not in the best state of mind, and just overall being super controlling and not very helpful. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But somehow we got through it, and I took most of last week to just sleep because that's what I needed. I just came home and just like bleh, passed out. But hey, somehow we get through it. Somehow we even through all like the free food and the pizza and all that good stuff, we made it. So I'm very happy to say that it was a success. One of these days, it will come a time where I am no longer at that job. So I'm trying to make the most of it. And I think that's an important takeaway for this little message of wherever you work. Now, I was thinking about this earlier this week. What you're doing, where you are, as far as a job is concerned, may not be your ideal situation, but use that to rocket yourself into a new position or a career or a path that you want to go down. And it's my hope that whatever our occupation, profession, career, whatever it may be, even if it isn't the most ideal career or job that we want to be at, it doesn't mean that we're not supposed to be there. I think about this a lot. Like, I've been at my job for the better part of 3 years currently, and yeah, to me, it's just a job. I was discussing this with my coworkers on Friday, actually. Like, it's a job, It's something that you put in your hours, you clock in, you clock out, and you're done. And that's one thing I am very appreciative about the job that I have is I don't take it home with me, and I barely think about it when I'm not there. So When I'm there, I do the work, I put it in, and I leave when I'm done. And I don't have to worry about it once I leave. So I hope that whatever goes on in your life, whatever your career, your profession, whatever the case is, I just hope that you. I hope it doesn't become burnout for you, and I hope it doesn't become like a trial, an overwhelming trial for you or a burden even in your day to day, and you can find the joys in it every single day. And it may be difficult, it may be tedious, but there are reasons to smile at that customer. There are reasons to give that coworker some extra help. There are reasons to go in and make somebody's day, even if it's through a very small act. It's always worth it every single time. And just know that you're not going to be there forever. You're not going to be at that place of work forever, and you have a lot of opportunity, more than you think you do, every single day to make a difference where you work in somebody's life or people's lives in general, and you can do a lot of good. I try my best at every job that I have to make an impact as much as I can, and you want them to remember you. When you finally do depart, or you find something else or something better, you want to be remembered for those things that you did for others. So that's my encouragement to all of you. Whatever job or profession or career that you find yourself in that may not be ideal, remember to make an impact. Be remembered for what you did, because they're gonna think back like, this place would not be the same without that person. And that's the I guess miniature legacy that you want to leave when it comes to a non-ideal position. So I hope that helps. I hope it helps think a new perspective and a new way to look at your job. Be it not ideal, but definitely worth it every day. It does remind me. That's a nice little segue into the Stoic quote of this week. I'm thinking of making this like a regular thing. As you all know, I do a lot of study in Stoic philosophy, and one of the quotes this week comes from Marcus Aurelius. Go figure. Just that man had a lot of wisdom, and I think it's worth mentioning this next quote that I read not even a day ago on my quotable calendar, and that is, stop debating what it means to be good. Be good. In other words, there's no sense in thinking about it or overthinking what it means to be a good person. Just be that person. It doesn't take a whole lot of logic or thought to be a good person, to do good in others' lives, and to do good in general in life. Just be that. And it reminds me, a follow-up quote, similar caliber to this one, is, if one considers themselves to be happy, then it be so. That's also Marcus Aurelius, talking about it is a decision. Your happiness is a decision, and so is being a good person is your decision. And in contrast with that, or I don't know, maybe not contrast, but on a related note, I was doing some reading, like, I don't say offhanded. What's the word I'm looking for? It came up tonight when I was doing some studying. The book of Ecclesiastes, which I know some people are going to hear that and go, "Whoa, what are we doing here? What is this, quoting scripture?" It's like, well, hear this out for a second. King Solomon in his day was very, very wise. He was the wisest man alive of his time. At least he was considered to be. And he called a lot of this life meaningless. Now, that may sound harsh at first. Now, of course, life is not meaningless. We can understand that. But the original word used for the word meaningless in the Hebrew language actually translated literally to mist or vapor. And he wasn't saying that this life is without meaning or your life is without meaning. What he was getting at was your life is short, like a vapor or a mist. You know, it appears for a time and then it dissipates and then it falls onto the ground with the rest of the droplets. So, that being said, he goes on to talk about the true meaning of life and what it means. And in that same passage, he says that go, drink, eat good food, be merry, and appreciate those things and those times around you that really truly matter. So, you know, your life is short, like a mist, so make the most of it while you can. Take the time to find the joy in life and live life to the fullest. There's an author that I follow. He he's had many speeches and books over the years, and I'm not going to mention his name just because he does have a fair bit of privacy around him. But he talked about what it means to be in the moment, what it means to live in the moment, and what it means to truly have that time, those times in your life that you can be present, that you can be true to the moment, you know. And I really thought about that. Like, you know, a lot of times we can be in a place where we aren't truly present. We aren't truly there in the moment like we should be. So wherever you are in life and wherever you find yourself, whether that's at work, with friends, doing something fun, you know, taking time at the end of the day to relax, taking a day off, you know, whatever you're doing in life, take time to just be present. Be there. Be in the moment and live it, you know? The same author also said, if you want to find joy in your life, lower the bar. And that really caught me off guard when I heard it because, wow. You know, that was a lot. That was a lot to take in. Lower the bar. And what that means is you don't need these big extravagant changes. You don't need that big fancy thing in your life. You don't need those huge things. Like you don't need a whole lot to find joy. You don't need a whole lot of events or things to happen to find joy in life. Sometimes it can just be as simple as walking down the street, looking up, and seeing the birds flying. It's as simple as staring out the window and seeing the dew, the mist, speaking of mist and fog, collect on the changing leaves, the changing colors of the leaves on trees, and the sunset shimmering through the trees. I had a moment like that yesterday where I was just talking with Abby. We were just sitting and hanging out, and I happened to peer out the window, and I saw the sun was like dipping behind the trees a little bit, and it had rained earlier in the day, and I saw a glimmer, a shiny glimmer peeking through the trees, and seeing like the dew spots, just the clear crystal dew spots of water sitting on the tree branches and the leaves. And I had a moment where I was like, wow, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Those are the joys that we can find small in life. Those are the tiny joys that we can really appreciate in life and that we can truly, you know, not take for granted. You know what I mean? So that's another encouragement to you all, is just find those little things in life that are just absolute joys and true, like little, how do I want to say, just small moments where you just stop and you think about what you're seeing or what you hear, what you smell, when you look around or when you close your eyes and just feel, take in a deep breath and remind yourself, this is a joy. This is a joy to behold. This is a joy to enjoy in this moment right now. So that definitely like really caught me and this weekend, and it really made me think. So I hope that you can find those joys in your life. If you want to find joy in your life, set the bar low. Lower the bar. There are little things out there that we can really appreciate and come and find that they're beautiful. Um, and on that note, I think we can end this with one more thing. Halloween is coming up. I hope you all have some really interesting plans, and if you don't, I hope that you can find some fun to have during the spooky season. I do enjoy this time, and I get to not only fursuit but dress up and cosplay and other things that I get to do with friends, and it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to this year and what I get to do, and I'm excited for. I'm really excited for the time that I'm going to be able to spend with friends, and go out, be fluffy, fursuit, and maybe like put a costume over my fursuit, something like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, want to mention, based on this past weekend's events, I really cannot. I can't drink like I used to. I don't get very let's say turnt as I used to, but this past weekend I had a few drinks, and the next day I woke up, immediate regret. So I want to use that as an example, use myself as a prime example. Please, by all means, during this holiday coming up and this season of spooky time, drink responsibly, be responsible, and just keep safe. And remember, do not drive. Have someone there to help you. Call an Uber, call a friend, call a family member if you really need to. Have fun, yes, but in moderation as much as you can. So yeah, I think that about wraps it for this podcast episode. I want to thank you all once again for listening and for the attention that you've given this, and I really do appreciate all of you who have stopped by to have a listen, and to, hopefully it gave you some nice fluffy warm vibes for your ears. And I'm looking forward to the next episode, where we will continue our chat together. Excuse me. Just had some dinner recently. And on the same note, I'm looking forward to Midwest Fur Fest, which will be the final con of the year. I'm very excited for. Fingers crossed for the room lottery. The results come out tomorrow from when I'm recording this. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good time, and I can't wait for it. So until next time, just remember the Latin phrase sic parvis magna, which translates from Latin to English as greatness from small beginnings. No matter where you started in life and where your journey began, always remember those who brought you up and who stood by you and continue to stand by you. Remember where your journey started and the roots of your humble beginnings. And oftentimes when you look back on your life and when you look to where you are now, there's often a huge comparison that there is none. There is no comparison, because you've come so far and you're not done yet. And oftentimes when you feel like you lack motivation, just remember that you can go back to your roots, look at them, study them, and see that you can find where you're supposed to go from there. And in the same way, always be you, be yourself. There has never been anyone like you who has ever existed in this entire universe. There will never be anyone who has existed like you in this universe. And there is no one who exists like you right now, currently. So only you can be you the way that you can be. And only you can do the things that you can the way that you can do it. And funny enough, that same author that I just mentioned talked about, got into a tangent of DNA coding. And he talked about how fascinating every single person individually is. So just remember your own DNA strands, as strange as that sounds. Remember your DNA strands, because there is no programming in that strand of DNA, or those millions of strands of DNA in your system in your being that is like anyone else in this world. It is unique to you. And those neurons that fire, those cells that reproduce, those everything from the atoms that make you all the way down to the quarks that make up those atoms. There are none that are like anyone else except for like you. So, hope you all have a wonderful night or day, depending on when you listen to this. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. I love you all. Thank you all for your continued support. And I want to always give my most sincere appreciation and love to all of you who have stood by me and who have supported in every single way. So, until next time, this is Samson Kitty Fox. Thank you for being here. I love you all, and I will catch you in the next episode. Bye. Bye. Love you.